Okay, welcome everyone to our first and one of our many webinars you will experience in 2024. My name is Bernadine Tay, and I'm one of the founding directors of ESTA. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for taking the time to join us. And we've hoped you've had a wonderful start to the year, and it continues to bring excitement and opportunities in tea. Now, we are really, really pleased to be back after a short break, as our team of volunteers have been very busy with many exciting ESTA activities that have taken place over the past months, and we are pleased to be back to share and learn from each other, from some of the best in the industry. We, as the European Specialty Association, are super passionate, as you know, about promoting the appreciation and adoption of specialty teas, especially out of home. And we love to share some insights today on the progress we have made, thanks to the wonderful volunteers that have powered this mission over the years. So today, on behalf of all our members, Nigel Milligan, our president, David Veal, our executive director, and
Hello.
I, hi David, would love to share what we've managed to achieve over the years and the exciting things that we're planning for the next 3 years. So for the next 30 to 40 minutes, sit back, relax, and hopefully sipping a cup of tea, and let us take you through this presentation. Now, I would really love to stress that we welcome questions, comments, if you have any suggestions, insight, and thoughts about anything to do with ESTA and the opportunities in tea. And because we want this webinar to be interactive and as engaging as possible, and we'd like to learn from you as well. So please feel free to put them in the Q&A box below, and we'll address them at the end of the presentation. But for now, let me begin to invite you to be part of the heart of specialty tea. Okay. Sorry, just let me get to the next slide. Great. Okay, so now as many of you know, ESTA was built by 13 visionary pioneer members about 5 years ago who have worked to build the foundation of ESTA and attract like-minded people from the community. And I'm pleased to report that today we have 350 strong, passionate members and 60 dedicated volunteers. Now, we also, and this is very recent, have a new category called the Tea Partner Member, which are special industry partners who they don't have to work in tea, but who support the tea industry and will be part of something we call the Tea Alliance, which is a group that exchange ideas and find solutions to help power us forward. Your turn, Nigel.
Okay, yes. Well, recognition. When that small group of pioneers got together and formed and founded the European Specialty Tea Association, ESTA, we never dreamed that by 2024 we would have members in 50 different countries. Yes, 50 different countries, of which 24 are outside Europe. That, I think, points to that it's not just European, but global recognition that ESTA is gaining as a rallying point for specialty tea enthusiasts. That recognition that we represent the burgeoning specialty tea movement. Now, what we've achieved in that short time, we have organized tea competitions. We have exhibited at key beverage events. We have held very popular monthly online webinars. We've interacted and collaborated with key industry professionals. So all of that very, very public face that we've achieved recognition by. And I think that's very much where we differ from a lot of other tea associations, is having a very public face. David will tell you in a minute a bit more about our outreach. But without, I hope, stealing his thunder, I'd mention that our social media followers now total just 500 under 10,000. has 500 short of 10,000 followers. That dwarfs other tea associations, even those established for 20 or 30 years ago. Now, that's what I call recognition. Okay, David.
Okay, thank you, Nigel. Hello, everybody. Could you just move over the next slide for me, please,
Yes,
Bernadine?
of course.
Yeah, thank you. So I hope everybody will forgive us for, despite the fact that the main reason that we're meeting tonight is to talk about the future, we just thought it would be good to, to look back at our achievements. And as Nigel said, 5 years ago, we never really thought that we'd get where so quickly, actually, where we are now. Although, in some respects, 350 members is small for some associations, but we believe that we're the largest, certainly, specialty tea association in the world now. And whilst we set up as the European Specialty Tea Association, um, or the European Tea Society, as we were at first, for those who remember as far back as that. Coming from Europe, which is predominantly a consuming area of the world, although we know that we do have tea producers in Europe, we realised very quickly that to make the difference that we wanted to make, we had to engage with tea producers around the world, and that partly explains the fact that as Nigel said, we have it's 55 countries now around the world. Many of the members are from producing countries, although not only that, we have 19 members in the USA, for example, and other members around the world as well. And that is something that pleases me, really. It shows that our scope is wide. We've managed to engage with members and non-members in many different ways. One of those being physically at events. Even though sort of 2 years out of our existence, we couldn't do that because of COVID. But we still managed to get to 10 different countries. So we've had physical events in Germany and in Italy, and in the Benelux, or two of the Benelux countries, Netherlands and Belgium, Ireland, the UK, and further afield, in Korea and in Russia. So we've been very busy engaging with people, and we've also done it in other ways, such as the webinars that we've had, and other ways as well. So we are still the European Specialty Tea Association, but we very much do have a global reach, and we intend to develop that even further. I'll pass on now over to back to you, Nigel.
Yeah, thank you, David. Yeah, David talking about achievements. Now, the key achievements, I think, that the association has achieved. The first of all is we have very strong governance. We have a team of industry professionals who are dedicated to staying true to our initial mission. And that mission was create and inspire excellence in the specialty tea community through innovation, research, education, and communication, all of which we have not as much as we will in the future, but we have laid a foundation in each of those areas, each of those key points of our mission through our strong governance team. Another achievement, we were bold enough to actually try and define specialty tea, not without criticism from some of the mainstream tea industry. I think we were the first people who actually took the bull by the horns and came up with a definition. Tea that aspires to excellence in all aspects of tea production and brewing from the bush to the cup. Aspiring to excellence. Another achievement is collaboration with universities, tea associations, and tea boards to foster relationships and to disseminate specialty tea knowledge. And creating a unique model for ensuring reliable excellence in tea education. I see that as a great achievement. And now with 7 learning modules and more to come in the pipeline. So four key achievements. But I've had three more, which are my personal favourites. Reaching out to coffee baristas and bringing their skills and enthusiasm into the specialty tea sector. I don't think that's been done before. It's inspired cross-fertilization, treating coffee as an ally, not as a competitor. I think actively engaging with artisanal tea producers around the world is an achievement, because without those artisanal tea producers, there is no specialty tea. And we need to create that link between those producers and our consumers. And lastly, this may be even the best achievement of the last few years, was staying afloat and even growing a little during the difficult pandemic years. So that, in a nutshell, is how I would define the achievements of the past. So over to David again, I think.
Okay, thank you, Nigel. Yeah, I'm just going to, most people I think are aware now of what our education programme is looking like. I'm just saying a few words now in the absence of Alexis Kay, who can't be with us tonight. She's travelling, but who's our Vice President and has headed up the committee that's been working on our education programmes. And about 20 different volunteers really have been involved in putting the programme together, and we now have 7 different modules, as you can see there, ranging from the T101 for people whose knowledge of tea is fairly minimal, really, through to people who want to have knowledge but want to extend it even further. So the introduction to tea and the introduction to tea for hospitality, and then moving up through the professional levels on Camellia sinensis and Botanicals Foundation, and a tea sommelier module that we've recently added. And then lastly, the module aimed squarely at baristas who we have identified as a target market for people to learn more about tea. All of those are up and running now. It's fair to say that the development of our education programme hasn't gone as smoothly as we would have liked, for a number of reasons. It's been quite difficult to get tea people to agree on certain points. There are so many different opinions on many different aspects of tea and tea education. And of course, once again, I mentioned a few minutes ago, COVID, that really did, stop us rolling the programme out or slow us down. But we are there now with these modules up and running, and they are being delivered around the world, and we will be introducing more this year, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. But before that, Bernie, I think you have a few words to say about our webinars.
Yes, indeed. So we're really proud of this, because over the past 4 years, we've worked tirelessly and put a lot of effort into pulling some of the best of the industry together to share insights and knowledge. And, as you can see here, there have been so many wonderful webinars we've recorded with presenters from all over the world. And this, I think, was particularly good and successful, especially during COVID, because we allowed some important voices in tea to be heard by the community, allowed members to engage with them, and to encourage motivation as well. Sharing and learning is a key part of ESTA, which we will continue to find opportunities to do so. And we're continuing to build on this to bring even more value to our members. Because what I wanted to say is we are also changing the format of our webinars and online workshops to make it more exclusive to members. So previously, these webinars were to help bring the community together to share knowledge. But now we are moving into a space where we are going to make this exclusive for members. There will still be some available for the general public to join, but an interesting and insightful lineup will be exclusively for members. So we're currently building this lineup, and we'll be releasing this list really soon. So please do watch this space. And if you're keen to contribute to a webinar, or you have any ideas on a topic that you'd like to hear, please feel free to let us know either by email or in the Q&A box today. So we'd really, really love to hear from you. Over to you, Nigel.
Thank you, Bernadine. Yeah, ESTA as a source of knowledge. In order to achieve our mission, it requires that we recognize tea knowledge, that we create tea knowledge, and we disseminate tea knowledge. And ESTA has been active on those three fronts. Coming from a science-based background, as I am, 27 years with Unilever Research and a further 40 years as a tea technical consultant. It may not surprise you that I lead the ESTA research and development team. And our major work currently in that knowledge identification and creation and dissemination. Our major work currently is to collect data and report about the connection between tea and health, extremely important aspect of tea benefits. And that is really to distinguish between established facts and to disclose often quoted myths about tea. I give you an example, tea as a detox. So we've produced a series of articles about health aspects of polyphenols, of caffeine, of GABA, and of theanine. And these have been written for us by our Turkish board member, Raziye Ilgaz. And she was director of the Turkish Tea Research Institute until she retired. And all those articles are available on our website. Now, we also have worked with our industrial partner, Brita, to investigate and report on water quality and brewing methods. Water is the second most important ingredient in a cup of tea, and it's 98% of the beverage itself. So we produced a white paper, researched and written in collaboration with Brita, and that's been published and is also available on our website. And thirdly, we are working to collaborate with scientists from universities and elsewhere, sharing ESTA's hands-on practical tea skills and tea expertise with scientists who are skilled in their own field, but working in tea, they are not entirely up to speed with tea. So we enhance their research and development by backing them up with our tea expertise. So ESTA is truly a source of tea knowledge. Okay, then.
Okay, thank you, Nigel. So that sort of summarizes, most of the achievements that we've made as an association over the past 5 years. And most of what we talked about were actually enshrined in a 3-year strategic plan, which the Board of Directors set in 2019 for the years 2020, 21 and 22. So it finished last year. And amazingly, most of what we actually put into that strategic plan, we were able to achieve wholly or partly. Some things we didn't, but many things we did. And so we're now looking, or we will be looking at a new 3-year strategic plan. As everybody's aware, we're just at the end now of our election period for the new board, which will have the first meeting in April. And one of the first tasks for the new board will be to put together the new 3-year strategic plan. However, we already know, some of the key components that are going to be in that plan. And so we'll just go through them now for the rest of the meeting. And can I just urge you and remind you once again, please, if you have any questions or points that you'd like to make, put them in the Q&A box, and at the end of our presentation, we'll answer them all as fully and frankly as we can. So the first very important key component, Nigel has just referred to it slightly in what he said a few minutes ago, is a collaboration with Queen's University Belfast. So Nigel, do you want to just tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah. Our collaboration with Queen's University Belfast is a very exciting project. It's a project which has been tackled by various other people at various other times. The people at Queen's, I think, have actually got the right handle on this, solving the problem. What they're working on is a unique key authentication system to check for any possible fraud or counterfeiting or contamination of tea at tea origin. Many of you might know that a lot of Darjeeling tea is actually Nepalese tea, which is comes over the border and gets sold at a higher price as Darjeeling tea. Currently, there's no way of definitely proving whether a tea comes from Nepal or from Darjeeling or from anywhere else, for that matter. So what Queen's are doing, what Queen's University are doing, they devised a system, a handheld device. We had a visit to Belfast to sign a collaboration agreement, and they showed us a laboratory which has an unbelievable amount of highly technical equipment, and they've condensed the ability of all that equipment down to a handheld device, not much bigger than a smartphone. And holding that over a tea sample, we'll be able to tell them whether it is what it says on the label. Now, that handheld device combines advanced analytical techniques and artificial intelligence, but that artificial intelligence aspect needs training. It needs to be told about teas from lots of different places so that when it sees it again electronically, it can recognize it as coming from that particular country. So where ESTA is stepping in as a collaborator is to use our access to producers in tea countries around the world to source highly accurately provenanced tea samples. Samples where we can, with hand on heart, say that this sample is from this country, from this particular origin of the country, from this particular producer, at this particular time, a date, and collect those samples, hundreds of samples, send them to Queen's, and they will then train the machine on those, so that when it recognizes a sample, it can recognize a sample which is from a particular, not only a particular country, a tea taster can do that, but a particular origin, a particular garden, a particular part of the garden, even the season of the year that it was produced. So that's the that's the project, a very exciting project. The sourcing of all those samples for training the equipment is what ESTA is bringing to the party.
Thanks, Nigel. Yeah, it's fair to say that we're all really excited about this project, and we expect to do great things with it. And we'll obviously need, volunteers from certainly our producing members to help us get samples of tea for testing. Now, one of the I just said a few minutes ago that there were one or two things, projects within our last 3-year plan which we didn't achieve, and one of them was to set up a European tea event. That was in our last 3-year strategic plan. Didn't do it, but we're determined that we will achieve it during the next 3 years. the main reason that we didn't really achieve it is the lack of resources, to be quite honest. It's quite a big project, financially and operationally, to put together an event on its own. So we got by that by piggybacking on other events around Europe and the world, as I mentioned earlier. But we really feel that it's time to start planning our own event. Ideally, one that will move every year from one country to another, one city to another. Not sure yet whether it will be an expo type event or whether it will be a festival type event. That's what we've got to work on. But many people from Europe are over in the US, Las Vegas at the moment, at the expo over there, which has been going for many years. And we really need something in Europe to equal that. So, and another important point here, Bernadine mentioned right at the beginning that we have 40 dedicated volunteers. Well, that's not an exclusive club at all. So we need more volunteers. So if anybody is excited, as I am, about the idea of a European tea event and you would like to help us put that together, please, please let us know, and we'll be more than happy to work with you on that. Following on from that, as you can see from the slide, an important part of what we intend to do for the next 3 years is to grow our chapters, because whilst we are a European organisation with a worldwide reach, it's really important to be able to network and work at a local level. So chapters really will become the heartbeat of ESTA in the future. And so we already have a chapter in Ireland, although that needs to be reactivated. That'll be happening soon. We have a chapter in Denmark, which came out of the Old Danish Tea Association, which existed before ESTA. We have a very active Benelux chapter. We're just working really hard at putting together plans to be at the Amsterdam Coffee Festival in April, to do educational workshops, to have a brew bar, and also to run a competition. And they're doing other events as well, and it's going really well, and we want to recreate that in other areas. So we're hoping this year to be looking at opening a chapter. Oh, sorry, also UK as well. We're just in the process of putting together everything in place to get the UK chapter going this year. But we're also hoping to do the same in France this year, and Germany, and possibly Italy. I had a chat only yesterday with Ina from Helsinki, who I know is on the webinar tonight. Hello, Ina. And we talked even about the possibility of having a Finnish chapter one day in the not too near future. So once again, chapters need volunteers. So if you are enthused by the idea of working with people in your country to promote specialty tea, then please get in touch with us, because we could use your help. Over to you, I think, Bernadine, is it next? No, it's Nigel next, sorry.
Nigel.
I think
Back to Nigel.
Yeah. I'll cover the next 2 points, but I will cover them in more detail in a little section a little later in the webinar. But just mention them as part of our growth strategy. These are a little bit the poor relations of our last 3 years. We intend to put some real effort into growing the membership and supporting them, growing producer membership and supporting them in different ways. Chiefly those will be organising trips to tea growing origins. This is a great way to educate members in how tea is grown, how it's processed. I've led many trips overseas, and people come away from those absolutely knocked out by the process of growing tea and making tea. It's far more complicated and interesting process than you might imagine. So we will be growing our producer membership and supporting them by having members and non-members trips out to the growing origins. And we will also be looking at increasing routes to the European market for our producer members who are the non-European part of our membership. Um, we'll do that by fostering links between tea retailers, tea professionals, and the producers. And I'll cover that a little bit later under the tea producer section. David.
Thanks, Nigel. Bernadine's going to just
Yes.
talk about the grading
Bernadine.
system, I think. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. I just wanted to say, we at ESTA here, our main mission, the reason why we exist is we want people to experience a better cup of tea out of home. And to do that, we believe that producers, we want to help producers achieve better prices, make better tea. And despite what many people say, we really believe in the importance of a grading and scoring system, which really is vital to improve quality. And we've seen that in the wine and the coffee industry, this really works, how the grading system has helped producers do better and get better prices. And I'm really excited to say that we're actually working really closely with Joyce Minor. She's one of our board members, and she has come up with a really unique scoring system, which she calls the Cambridge 5ST classification system. It's really interesting, and we will be doing a webinar at some point to show you how this system works. So please do watch out for that. That's something we'd love you to come and engage with. So now, in our mission also, as I mentioned, to improve, tea out of home, we engage with coffee shop specialists. And in order to reach the coffee barista community, which is really, really vital to this achievement, we work closely with, coffee suppliers, coffee machine suppliers, like the Simonelli Group. We've been actually helping them to promote their very new Ferrari of espresso machines called, Victoria Arduino Prima EXP. And they use a very special, innovative, what they call pure brew technology to extract the very best out of whole leaf teas from a coffee machine itself. Again, at some point, we will show you this machine because it's really fantastic. We work with well-known coffee suppliers, not coffee suppliers, coffee equipment suppliers or brewing equipment suppliers, such as Hario, which, have very cool vessels that you can brew coffee in and tea in as well. And also people like Marco Boilers, and we're really excited because tomorrow David and I are actually going to look at their very new, what they call their cold brew system, which can batch brew cold brew teas from tea leaves in big quantities. So this will really help to serve the hospitality market, but we'll report more on that tomorrow. Can't speak today. I need to drink some tea, excuse me. Thank you. Yeah, so, a lot of these exciting things happening, and this is why we'd really love you to engage with ESTA, because to be in the know and to be right there as things are happening and to be part of those innovations is something we support, because collaborations is everything to us. We want to put people together to be able to help each other grow so that we can achieve our mission by making sure that everyone sips better tea. Over to you, David.
Okay. Before I talk about the barista community, can I just go back to the point, Bernadine, that you mentioned about the grading scoring system, because we believe that this is possibly the most important, certainly one of the most important things we believe that we can get involved with in order to help producers understand more about their tea and improve the quality of their tea and get better prices for their tea. which is what we all want really, so that they can, have a sustainable future. And also it will help tea professionals in consuming countries and consumers themselves, because it'll give us all a better choice of quality. So we believe it's key to, to what we're doing, to our ethos and our values. So you'll hear a lot more about this, in the coming weeks. So anybody who's had a conversation with me, any conversation with me over the past 5 years, will know how passionate I am about us engaging with the barista community in the coffee shop sector. Not everybody agrees with me, but and obviously it comes from my coffee background, but not only me. As an association now, and certainly as a board of directors, we all agree that whilst we still respect tradition, Western and Eastern tradition, we believe that one way to engage with the out-of-home market across Europe and across the world is through the very successful coffee shop sector, and through the owners and through the baristas, many of whom are very knowledgeable, very passionate, and very skilled at making coffee. And we believe that they can be equally passionate, skilled, and knowledgeable about making and brewing, choosing, sourcing and brewing and serving specialty tea. So we will continue to work with that community, not exclusively. We'll also be, working in other areas, but we'll continue to do that. So that we can get to the position where, we'll walk into a coffee shop and look at the menu, and instead of seeing lots of wonderful coffees and how they're made and where they come from, and then sort of 3 choices of tea bag maybe, or loose leaf tea, but only a small, only small choice without any description of where they come from or how they should be brewed. We want to elevate tea to be equal to coffee on the menu in coffee shops. So that's our very passionately held objective and goal with the barista community. And Nigel's now going to talk to you a bit more about producers, I think.
Yeah, supporting the people who make tea. Yeah, long ago, before I had any tea knowledge at all, I was sent out by Unilever to solve a production problem in a tea garden in Papua New Guinea. And that was a baptism of fire. I quickly learned to respect the problems of tea producers and the skills that they employ to overcome those problems. And at heart, I'm still a tea producer. I had made no apologies for it. And there's been an impressive development in tea growing in Europe over the last couple of decades. And we've now got growers in England, Scotland, Wales, France, Germany, Spain, Italy, Switzerland, Georgia, the Ukraine, to mention just a few of the tea growing countries in Europe. However, many of our producer members are from outside Europe, as I said at the beginning. We have producer members, growers in Nepal, in Taiwan, Kenya, Malawi, South Africa, and Sri Lanka. And we offer them support and encouragement and a targeted marketing network into Europe for their specialty tea via our retail tea members. And producer members will sell more teas that way, and consumers will experience better quality teas and more choice of teas that way. And currently, we're discussing with the Sri Lanka Tea Board a collaborative program for ESTA to assist their specialty tea sector. As part of tea support, producers have their own portal on the ESTA website, and that will be expanded over the next 3 years. And member visits and organised trips to producer origins will also be expanded. The first of these is being planned to Devon in the UK, followed by, we hope, trips to Malawi and Nepal and other tea growing places. And the possibility of co-hosting producer trips with other tea associations but we have collaborative agreements with. Trips to origin are not only educational, as I said, they're not only educational, but they open up marketing opportunities for the producer and for the supplier alike. Very important to support our tea producers. As I said, without them, there is no specialty tea.
Thank you, Nigel. Can I just before you go, Bernadine, can I just add just onto what Nigel said, just a very practical example is Nigel mentioned working with Sri Lanka Tea Board. We're putting together hopefully a collaborative agreement with them where we can support one another. And a very, very practical example that is next week we're supporting them. They're organising a number of events in London and in Scotland to promote specialty tea from and artisan tea from Sri Lanka, and we are supporting that. So we're already, working practically there. We will be doing more so. Bernadine.
No, indeed. And it's very, very exciting times. And every year we see that it gets more exciting with each year. But I think how we have attracted so many wonderful partners, and a lot of it has come organically. And I think it's being clear on our beliefs and our values, placing importance of excellence, in the quality of tea that is produced, supporting innovation. And this is how it's attracted a lot of interest from different universities, as Nigel mentioned, Queen's University, of all the new technology that's coming to help identify tea. Also, new machines that have been launched that have engaged with us to, help them understand specialty tea, experience better. All these wonderful innovations have also allowed us to put people together to foster collaborations, because I think the only way for us to move forward as an industry is to work together. And this is something we are really, really proud of. And if you do engage with us, because to get the best out of your membership is engaging, and being part of the different events as much as you can, to really experience the full potential of the membership and help us grow. So we're really, really excited about that.
Okay, time's running out, so I'm going to be fairly quick on this. One thing that we haven't mentioned yet is the fact that we've, as most people are aware, I'm sure that we've over the past year introduced a couple of different competitions. The first two of many of which we plan to introduce over the next couple of years or 3 years to help people build their skills and their knowledge, and to bring a little bit of fun into our lives. So this here is a photograph of the first one that we did in Cafe Culture last year, with Diana Perez of Canton Tea on the right there, becoming our first ESTA champion.
She was
that one tea
fantastic.
tasting. We're also doing a matcha latte art competition, and at it's Amsterdam Coffee Festival, which I mentioned, the Dutch championships will take place. And we feel that this is another way to bring people together, as I say, to have some fun and to educate and to improve skills and knowledge. But it's not just competitors who can be champions for specialty tea. We all can, in our everyday lives, as we talk to people, as we experiment with different teas, and we introduce our customers to new teas. So that's a very important part of what we look to do.
Indeed.
Ready?
And
yes, sorry, can I just say before you, sorry, I'm seeing that we still only have 2 questions in our Q&A box. So come on, let's have your questions, please, or your comments. Bring them in so that we can, get a bit of feedback from yourselves, and we can in turn give you some feedback.
Yes, indeed. And it doesn't have to be questions, suggestions if you have, or any thoughts you have on anything really. We'd love to hear from you. But this is really, really important to us, because the only way we can do this is to have members who are passionate as us, so we can all achieve this goal. But being an ESTA member, what do you get from this membership? I want to say, first of all, reaching a tea community. Now we have, as you can see here, there are many, many events that we engage with, we run throughout the year. And even if you can't go to the physical events, you can come to our webinars and workshops online and engage with tea professionals there, depending on the memberships you have as well. If you'd like to deliver a webinar, we'd welcome you to come join us so that you can reach your target audience and also raise your profile. We'll be hosting more network opportunities throughout the year with our industry partners as well. So, you definitely can reach and engage with the community to those events. Also becoming part of local chapters, as David says, we currently have an Irish, Danish, Benelux, Russian, and UK chapter, and are looking to start many, many more in Europe and hopefully in other parts of the world as well. So if you would like to be a part of an existing chapter or start one in your country, we'd love to hear from you. Also, with tea, there is a huge association with wellness, and the wellness industry is worth 5.6 trillion US dollars globally. And we know tea is synonymous with wellness. So being immersed at the heart of the growth of this industry can really help you keep be informed, especially with the research papers that we do and are a part of, keep you informed of trends, collaborate with other like-minded people to help achieve your goals. Number 4, network with experts to help you innovate and thrive. So as we mentioned before, we have so many committees that you can be part of. Some of them include research, we have events, we have international development, we have education. So if you'd like to meet other people that are experts in their field and engage and work with them, why not become part of the committees? I'm not gonna lie, it is a lot of work, because once you are part of a committee, there is a lot of work and dedication that goes behind it. But believe me, it is worth it, and it is super fun. You get to meet so many interesting people. So there are many ways that you can meet other experts, and also depending on your type of membership, we also do have access to some kind of mentorship if you need to speak to a particular expert within a certain field. So we do encourage that as well. Now, being an ESTA member really gives you a competitive edge, because, as part of your membership, you'll be the first to know of any speaking opportunities that are available, whether it's in shows or, like I said, on the webinars. And what else do you get? Let's see. I'll come back to the competitive edge, because part of having a competitive edge is to be able to increase your knowledge and raise your profile. And with regards to increasing knowledge, like I said, as members, you get free access to the white papers that we launch, which are usually comes at a cost. You get discounts on training as well, discounts on training program. As a member, you also, like producer members, have a dedicated portal with loads of information on the latest in tea. Is there anything to add, David?
I think you've said it eloquently, to be quite honest.
I'm also rushing because of time. I want to make sure we
Yeah,
get
no, I think you've
get
said
to
it all there,
people's
yeah.
questions as well. But with the webinars as well, I have to say it really, really will help increase your knowledge and awareness of what's happening in the industry. Because what I didn't say earlier is we are going to have a good lineup of insights. We're going to highlight wonderful producers from all around the world, so you'll get to know what's happening from a growing perspective, right from the horse's mouth, so to speak. And also what we want to do is bring experts to run workshops, so as members you'll get access to that. And I really think it is coming at it from all angles to help give you the breadth of information that you need, depending on which aspects of tea you work in, to help propel you forward, to give you the best chance of success and excitement within this passionate industry we work we work in. So yes, that's all I have to say for now. And just to wrap up on this is we really, really hope we can only do this with your help. So we hope that you join our mission to help revolutionize tea and, just be part of something fun, authentic, and collaborative. And I can't say any more than that. And those of you who are members, thank you so much, for standing behind this. And we just would love you to be part of the future and engage with us and to work more with you. And for those who aren't members, we really hope you come on board because we can do so many great things together. But for now, there's 10 minutes left to our webinar, so I just want to get into the questions. So let's see, shall we? Okay, so from Claudio, Claudio has asked, how could I be a member? I'm a producer in Colombia, South America. Regards. Why you don't take this, David?
Well, it'll be fantastic to have a member in Colombia, Claudio. You'll be our first one. It's very easy. You can go on to the website and join directly from there. Or if you want to talk to somebody before you do that, please just contact us at hello@specialityeurope.com, and we'll have a chat with you, answer your questions, and hopefully you'll be happy to join us. Or you can do it the simple way and just go on the website.
Yeah, we'd love to have you, Claudio. Okay, so the next question is from Belinda Davenport. Hi, Belinda. I just saw Belinda on Sunday. She has a fantastic tea room in Cheshire. So she is a true advocate of specialty tea, I have to say. But Belinda says, my tea room joined the UK Teas Council Tea Guild in order to participate in their best afternoon tea competition. We have found people are more readily encouraged to try specialty teas through an afternoon tea experience in my research. Have you considered having an afternoon tea competition in future? Ooh, this is such a good question. I think we would, wouldn't we?
Well, the answer, Belinda, is no, we haven't, but we are doing now. And especially if you might be happy to join us in putting that together, I think we should look at it. I think that's a great idea.
I think we'll take this offline, Belinda, and start talking about this. But fantastic idea. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, it is. I like that. I like that.
Okay, so Kostas has a question. Now, in Greece, we are really behind tea-wise. It is very difficult for me and my company to balance between selling and also educating. What I want is to create a bridge between ESTA website, especially the teaching part, and our website. I believe it can be a good first step to introduce tea lessons to Greeks, individuals and professionals also. Is this something we can do?
Hello, Costas. Well, for those who don't know, Costas is one of two members we have in Greece, and has just recently at the expo in Athens, as on his stand there, he promoted specialty tea and ESTA specifically, and we've had the conversation how difficult it is in Greece at the moment with tea. It's very much is a coffee drinking country. I think the answer is yes. We've already started the conversation. If you can help us maybe with the with translations, I'm sure we can bridge that gap and help you to promote specialty tea. And then you've got some Greek connections. Maybe you might have a.
Indeed, I wanted to say Kostas Harikapoli. I don't speak Greek extremely well, but I really understand Greek's palates and the culture because my husband is Greek and I've been immersed in this culture for many, many years. So I completely understand where you're coming from. I would really love to speak to you separately as well on what we can do to help you and help understand the challenges and see how we can support you in Greece, because I think there is a real opportunity for tea to grow over there as well, but we've got to get the balance right. So again, love to engage with you to see how we can help. Okay, next question is from Joe Harper, who has Dartmoor Estate Tea down near Devon. beautiful tea estate. He's a producer. So Joe says, since ESTA's inception and original aims, have the directors discovered new areas to focus upon that was not initially identified and might be in the next 5 to 10-year plan?
Right. Nigel, would you like to answer that one?
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Yeah, not an easy one. But I would say that the collaboration with Belfast is a prime example of that. We didn't think a year ago even that this this would come up as an opportunity, and it did, and we've developed it, and it may well turn out to be a key turning point in terms of our producer membership, because asking people to help um, to do something which they can do quite often spurs them on to do things that they don't necessarily expect that they would do. So I think that collaboration is going to put a little, well, perhaps a large blip in our producer members. So serendipity being what it is, you can't really always predict. Although we have a 3-year program, I'm sure there will be things that we'll look back on in 3 years' time and think, "Well, we didn't actually expect to do that," but it's really something which is becoming fundamental to what we're going to do in the future.
Yes, indeed. If I may add to that as well, I think, Nigel's absolutely right. There are actually a lot of things in the pipeline that have come to us that we didn't expect and could potentially propel and you know, fast track our plans, especially in regards to helping producers find a route to market. So we're really, really excited about that, and as things develop, we will share. David, did you want to say something?
No, the only thing I wanted to say was I can't quite share your enthusiasm for a 10-year plan, Joe. It's just a little bit too far ahead for me to even imagine at this point. But certainly, yeah, 3 years we're working on.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, and we have a question from Shazia, who is one of our board members. She says, thank you very much to Nigel, David, and me for your informative presentation. My question is for Nigel. Could you please give information on how we can support our members who are doing doctoral and master's degrees in tea from bush to cup?
Yes, Shazia. I am mentoring PhD students at the moment, and she's doing PhD at between Kew and Royal Holloway University. She's an ethnobotanist, who had a lifelong interest in tea, and I'm helping her develop her tea knowledge while she develops the ethnobotany end. So I don't see this as a formal part of ESTA, although perhaps we could get together a panel of people who are prepared to mentor MSc and PhD students. And certainly we have a lot of expertise within ESTA, and that sort of panel could match PhD students who are looking for mentorship with people who are prepared to do it. So I think it's a very interesting little sideline for spreading expertise for ESTA, although I don't think it's part of the mainstream.
Indeed. As another question from Joe Harper. Also, we are discovering a real appetite for specialty tea from millennials. Is there something worth focusing on? If I may take that one, I think, Joe, everything we're doing is targeting, or attracting a younger audience to actually engage with specialty tea, which is why we run and are planning to run more competitions. to help young people uh, become skilled in and get excited, about identifying flavors and being interested in learning about the different types through our programs and our content, which has been very successful on our social media, has helped to pull in younger people who are interested in discovering the world of tea. Is there anything you want to add, David?
Well, as a millennial myself, I can answer this with clarity. No, the one thing I would say is that we're constantly being reminded that millennials are much more health conscious than us older generations, and so that this whole health and or wellness issue, which I believe will become bigger and bigger and more important. I think that's a possible way in there, Joe.
Yep. Okay. Then the next comment is from Lisa. She says, I love to virtually reach producers all over the world thanks to your fantastic webinar. So thank you so much, Lisa. And I've learned a lot. We're so pleased. Please go on with this. It's very useful. Absolutely. And we intend to supercharge this. So thank you very much for your encouragement.
Yeah. Ciao, Lisa. Thank you for those comments. That's lovely.
Thank you so much.
Please give my regards to your brother.
Oh, okay. So this is from Marco. My name is Marco from Tea and Infusions Association. Hi, Marco. I just want to send greetings to everyone here. I'm a new entry and I'm happy to meet old friends here and also make new friends. Yay! Oh, we're very, very, very happy to have you here, Marco. Welcome.
Yeah. So once again, Marco joins. I think
It's
Marco joined
Italy
us
Tea
only.
and Infusions Association. Marco
Yeah.
is from the Italy Tea and
Yeah.
Infusions Association.
Marco joined us as a member only last week, or the week before maybe, but very, very recently. So welcome, Marco. It's great to have you with us.
Marco.
And talking about old friends, the last person who we referred to was Lisa Lelly, who is a fellow country woman of yours. So get together, please.
My Are
No,
you
Lisa
speaking
and
to me?
Marco are both from Italy. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
I
So
see, I
Marco's
see. Okay.
saying talking to old friends. I don't know if Lisa and Marco know each other, but they should do.
Okay, Marco, sorry, goes on to say, I wanted to inquire if ESTA has considered exploring collaboration opportunities with existing national associations that are already established and operational in various countries. Given the diverse expertise and resources available within these associations, I believe there could be significant benefits to coordinating efforts and sharing knowledge on a broader scale. Has ESTA explored any potential partnerships or collaborations with national associations in the tea industry?
Nigel, do you want to answer, or do you want me to answer? You go first.
Well, yes, we certainly are doing so. And in fact, our Danish chapter was originally the Danish Tea Association. So they decided that they would not only collaborate with us, but they would become us. They would form their own chapter. And I think that's a very sensible way for chapters to begin, to work with an existing association who are country, whose boundaries are the country, but to join ESTA either wholly or as a collaborating organisation, so that they can spread their wings across Europe and, as you've seen today, across the world as well. So yes, we have thought about that, and we are progressing that. I will say that, of course, that some associations would rather be more distant. We did have talks with the European Tea Growers Association, and while we support each other in terms of doing cross-advertising of events and that sort of thing, they decided that they would rather be, rather not be so closely collaborative, but to be friends rather than to be, or to be neighbours rather than to be friends. But I hope, Marco, that we would certainly welcome an Italian chapter, and we would work with you to help you form it.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's fair to say that not only would we like to work with other associations, but it's vital that we do collaborate because the journey that we're on, the objectives that we can't do on our own. The only way to do it is by collaborating, throughout the whole industry, really. So that's a really, really important point. Good question, actually.
Indeed. Indeed, yes. Okay, Kim Wong from who's based in Argentina says, I would love to hear your opinion on how I can help tea producers from my tea shop. Kim, I wonder if you can expand on that question. Do you mean to highlight the tea that you're selling in your tea shop? If you can type a little bit more to explain your question, that will be amazing. Whilst Kim is doing that, Annabelle has said on that there is also a hashtag Tea Power campaign by the UN program. Oh, I did not know that. I will certainly be looking that up. Thank you, Annabelle. Hashtag Tea Power campaign by the UN program. We'll definitely be researching that after this. Has anyone heard of that? Hashtag Tea Power campaign?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
No, sorry.
We'll have a look at that after this, Annabelle. But yes, Kim, I had wondered if you mean to highlight, the tea, the types of tea or the producers that you buy from your tea shop. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, Kim has just answered.
Okay. To help, Kim says, to help tea producers, I currently sell pure teas, my own blends, organize workshop along tea producers, and set up a club. So if you remember Kim would be happy to actually feature you on our social media channels to help people understand or help our members or the tea community understand the type of blends you have within your tea shop. So please, if you're a member and we have not featured you, we'd be happy to do that. David, did you have anything?
Can I also say, Kim, if you want to just contact us at hello@specialityteaeurope.com, we can set up a meeting to have a chat about that. Maybe
Yes,
we might be
indeed.
able to answer that more fully outside of this webinar.
Yeah, and that is something as members, again, this is what we do. We try to support our members as much as possible. If you have any questions or you'd like to, reach out to us to bounce an idea off of how we can help, we'd be very, very happy to hear from you. Also, if you're a member and you have not been offered a feature on our social media channels, we'd be really happy to work together on a content with you for, that we could put out on our social media channels together. So please do get in touch with us. Okay. Oh, Kim says, what else could I do? I'm not a member. I would love to see how I could assist. The tea movement is growing here in Argentina as there are tea fields. Kim, why don't you get in touch with us? Privately, we could have a chat then. I think that will be easier.
Yeah.
Okay, and someone has given us a link to the UN hashtag Tea Power. So thank you very much for that. Well, I think we've answered all the questions and read out the comments that everyone has put on the Q&A channel. So I want to thank you all very, very much for not only, being here, engaging with us, but taking time out of your busy day to come help us improve, just by giving us your support like this, your comments has been very, very helpful to us, and we can't do it without you. Before we wrap up today, I just wanted to say, although the webinar lineup hasn't been determined, the next webinar we have is actually from a member who runs a beautiful little tea company, a herbal tea company based in East Sussex here in the UK. Her name is Eddie, and apologies, Eddie, if I haven't pronounced this properly, but Obiakpani Reed. And she is a lovely, lovely lady who is so passionate about wellness, and she'll be talking about the health and tea's USP, the health and wellness advantage, on why tea has a commercial advantage in a market geared towards wellness. And we touched on this topic before, and I think it'll be a very, very interesting discussion on how she is doing it to reach that market that is really powered towards wellness. So please do join us. It's on the 17th of April. I wanted to say that, we really exist to raise standards of tea everywhere. And we do this, as we have mentioned, by embracing innovation, we share knowledge, and we encourage collaborations as well. And our aim is to improve every cup of tea that is served and make sure our producers get a fair price for their efforts. We are a not-for-profit organization, and we only consist of wonderful volunteers from all around the world to give you great content, education programs, and events. And we rely heavily on membership to survive and to be able to achieve our goals. So please do become a member if you're not, and engage with us. You can go find more about memberships on specialtyeurope.com. But before we wrap up, I just wanted to say, David and Nigel, do you have any last words for anyone?
From me, thank you for being with us, and thank you for your interest. And once again, just reiterating what Bernadine said, if you're on this webinar and you're not a member, please join. If you like what you've heard, and if you like what we're doing, please join us. We do need you. Also, if you are a member and you want to get involved more, as I've said earlier on, we need volunteers. We'd love to work with you. So please get in touch with us, and let's just all engage more. And thank you once again for being with us.
Indeed.
Yeah, I would just like to say, wow, did we do all that?
Yeah.
Because looking back, we have made huge amount of progress, and looking forward, with the help of our members and with the help of even more members, we will make even more progress.
Indeed. Indeed.
So,
But it's very rewarding, isn't it? Even though sometimes it's so hard, it's very, very rewarding.
that is worth it. Yeah. And
But
I'd like to say, as president, I would like to thank Bernadine and David for helping co-host this webinar. It's been a great thing to do, but I really look forward to seeing the other members and non-members give the webinars through the coming year.
indeed. Well, with
Great.
that, Nigel, thank you very much. Also, to you and everyone else for making this association so special. We hope to see you on the 17th of April, guys. It's going to be fun, and look out for the list of other webinar topics that are coming so we can see each other again. But in the meantime, have a wonderful March, spring, if that is the season in your country, and we hope you have a great time till the next time we see you. But bye for now. Take care, everybody.
Bye, everybody.